Trump's 2024 campaign is already making waves, and his stance on immigration is sending ripples across the nation. He's promising a tougher stance, a more secure border, and a stricter system overall. Now, whether you agree with his approach or not, one thing's for sure: immigration is a hot-button issue. It gets people talking, debating, and sometimes even shouting at their TVs. But beyond the rhetoric and the rallies, what would a Trump victory actually mean for immigrants in America? Let's dive in and find out. But before we begin, if you're new here and yet to subscribe, please do. The channel is growing, and with your help, we can reach the 10,000 mark. Please drop a message in the comment section and I'll personally respond with a thank you message. Now let's get into it. One of the most attention-grabbing proposals from Trump is his plan to end birthright citizenship. For those who don't know, this is the principle that anyone born on US soil automatically becomes a US citizen. It's been a cornerstone of American identity for over a century, enshrined in the 14th Amendment to the Constitution. But Trump argues that it's a magnet for illegal immigration, encouraging what he calls anchor babies. He wants to limit citizenship to children born to at least one parent who is a US citizen, a legal resident, or serving in the US military. Now, this is where things get legally tricky. Can a president actually overturn a constitutional right with the stroke of a pen? Legal scholars are divided. Some say it would require a constitutional amendment, a lengthy and complex process. Others believe Trump could try to push through the change through executive action or legislation, though it would undoubtedly face immediate legal challenges. Remember the border wall? That grand symbol of Trump's first term? Well, it's back in the spotlight. Trump is once again promising to secure the border with Mexico, this time with even more gusto. Think walls, fences, increased surveillance, and a whole lot of Border Patrol agents. But critics argue that a physical barrier, no matter how imposing, won't solve the complexities of immigration. They point out that people have always found ways to overcome obstacles, whether it's tunneling under, climbing over, or finding alternative routes. Moreover, the financial and logistical hurdles are enormous. Building a wall across the entire 2,000-mile border would be a massive undertaking, costing billions of dollars and potentially harming the environment. And even then, it wouldn't address the root causes of migration, such as poverty and violence in Central America, that drive people to seek a better life elsewhere. Here's another Trump classic: mass deportation. He's vowed to crack down on undocumented immigrants, promising to deport millions of people living in the US illegally. It's a plan that evokes strong emotions and raises serious ethical and logistical questions. Critics argue that mass deportation would be inhumane, tearing families apart and causing widespread fear and instability. It would also be a logistical nightmare, requiring a massive expansion of detention facilities and a massive increase in resources for actual enforcement. Then there are the legal hurdles. The US Constitution guarantees due process of law to everyone, including undocumented immigrants. This means they have the right to a fair hearing before being deported, which could overwhelm the already backlogged immigration court system. Ever heard of birth tourism? It's the practice of traveling to the United States to give birth, thereby granting automatic US citizenship to the child. Trump sees this as a loophole in the system, a way to game the 14th Amendment. He's promised to crack down on it, potentially by increasing scrutiny of pregnant travelers, especially those from countries with high rates of birth tourism. But critics worry that such measures could lead to racial profiling and discrimination. Imagine being a pregnant woman stopped at the airport and questioned about your pregnancy and your reasons for travel. It raises serious concerns about privacy and civil liberties. Furthermore, the number of children born to birth tourists each year is relatively small, and there's no evidence to suggest that it poses a significant threat to national security. Trump has repeatedly linked immigration to crime, painting a picture of a nation under siege by criminals crossing the border. He's pledged to increase law enforcement efforts targeting migrant-related crime, from drug trafficking to gang violence. But critics argue that this narrative is misleading and unfairly demonizes immigrants. Studies have shown that immigrants are actually less likely to commit crimes than native-born Americans. Moreover, focusing on enforcement alone ignores the complex factors that contribute to crime, such as poverty, lack of opportunity, and social marginalization. Instead of simply ramping up enforcement, critics advocate for a more comprehensive approach that addresses the root causes of crime and provides opportunities for integration and upward mobility. It's not just undocumented immigration in Trump's crosshairs. He's also expressed skepticism about legal immigration, particularly programs like the H-1B visa, which allows US companies to hire foreign workers in specialized fields. Trump argues that the H-1B visa program is abused by companies to replace American workers with cheaper foreign labor. During his first term, his administration implemented rules to restrict the program, including raising the minimum wage requirements for H-1B visa holders. These moves were met with pushback from the tech industry and other sectors that rely on highly skilled foreign workers. Critics argued that restricting the program would harm American competitiveness and innovation. The 2024 election will have profound implications for the future of immigration in America. If Trump wins, he'll likely double down on his hardline policies, potentially leading to a significant reduction in both legal and illegal immigration. But as we've seen, many of his proposals face legal and logistical challenges, and it remains to be seen how effectively he could implement his agenda. The outcome will depend not just on who wins the presidency, but also on the composition of Congress and the courts. It's a complex issue with no easy answers, and one that will continue to be debated and contested for years to come. One thing is clear, the stakes are high and the impact on millions of lives will be significant. So, what do you think? Is Trump's approach to tackling immigration the way to go? Drop your thoughts in the comment below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for update on this and other critical issues. Until next time, remember, it's the deliberate expat, and have a beautiful day.